Doesn't matter. I'll show you. I can show you here anyway. So we'll go to LED Lab. So LED Lab is a program where it allows you to control from your iPad large grids, your tree or whatever. It allows you to control in real time. So you can sit out in front of the tree and you can play with it and things like that. It also has music input, so you can sit it next to your music and you can make your tree dance to the music. So there's quite a bunch of good features to this. You can create your own effects and things like that. So what I've got is just a bunch of effects that have already sort of been made here. So I can just click on that one and I can shrink that in real time if I want, move that. So in a grid, that would be happening real time as I do it. There's a whole different way to control this. So I can go to display and I'm going to go to editing. So we'll go to editing. So now it opens up a window here. So now I can modify that. I can slow that down. See, I'll just move this dial here, slow the direction down. I can change different parameters. Allows you a lot of power. So what we've got is colouring, motion and geometry. You can put in video, so I can actually use the camera from this and have live feed to my grid or my tree or whatever as well at the same time. So it's a very powerful little program that allows, you know, I sort of say it's matrix kind of power, but you know, basically in an iPad. The only issue is it doesn't run E1.31, it runs ArtNet. But ArtNet, most of the controllers, the J1 and most of the controllers, they actually do support ArtNet as well. So it's not really a problem. But this allows you to sort of really take sort of a display element like your Christmas tree and turn it into something interactive. So we've got some interactive effects. I'll have a look what I've got here. See if I can find one that I've created. So I can grab that and move that around live if I want. I can make it larger by just pinching. So it's very easy to control and do what you want with. It's quite a simple program. I can drag that in there. Now I've got that there. I can rotate where I want it to be, make the size I want by pinching it. I can go to colouring. I can say, okay, I want now that to be colour, and I want to change colour as it goes. So I've just changed this dial here. So now that umbrella is the way I want it to be. I can go to motion, and I can change parameters here. So now it's bouncing up and down. So now it's moving around. So and I can go to geometry, I can make it go in and out. So it allows us to do a lot of things just by touching things, without actually having to use a keyboard, without having to use a mouse. It's a very powerful piece of software for the iPad. It's just something that sort of adds to our tools of things that we can do. So some of you guys might want interactive elements within your display. This is an easy way to create an interactive element within your display. By just using basically this tool and having it, at the front, we can have an effect. So I can let me get another effect going. So I'm just going to find one that I've had set up before that allows me. Some of these will allow me to actually rub my finger across and change the way the effect looks. So there we go, I can just run my finger up and down there, and that will happen live time on your grid or your tree or whatever. So it allows you to basically have live control on your thing. So that's how you sort of make your effects. So there's two different types of ways you can make effects. You can just make it so it's a grid, and then it just makes geometry kind of effects. Or we can use what they call image, so you can throw images in there. You can overlay one image over the other. You can overlay this geometry over images. basically allows you to do basically what your imagination wants as far as effects and control. So I use this quite a bit. I find it quite a powerful little tool. And it said it's free. It's actually a free demo, so it's free to download, and it's in-app purchases. So for the full version, which includes the ability to make all your own effects, this, that, and the other, is I think about $180 US. So really not that expensive for what it is. But if you just wanted output and just use the default effects, or just make some effects which you can't save, I think it's only $30 for output. So it's quite a cheap bit of software for what it does. And it said, it allows people to really sort of take control of what they want to sort of do with interactivity and creating effects. Just a different way to sort of create effects. And so, you can say, okay, I've created an effect. I like this. I can go and say, okay, I'm going to go screen grid. And I've got all those effects there that I've created. I can select any of those at any time. I can then go and play. And so I can set how long I want each effect to play for. I can set how I want the effect to then come in. Does it crossfade with the other effect? Or does it sort of just jump straight in or bounce between the two as it comes in? So quite a lot of ways to sort of, just by using an iPad and not even having to use a computer, that you can actually, generate effects. So just thought I'd show you guys that. I thought it was just something different and I think a lot of guys haven't seen before, this piece of software. But it's called LED Lab and it's for the iPad. So the iPad will allow you to edit. You can control it through your iPhone, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can. But you can only play, you can't edit.
Yeah, you can't edit or configure anything, and so you configure on the iPad and then play it on your phone.
Yep. So it allows you to email as well, effects and things like that to people and things like. So it's a very powerful piece of software. There's actually supposed to be another app coming out for this, which I don't know if it's still coming or not. But I did see the early prototype of it. And what it was a mapping tool, which allowed you to take a photograph of your lighting as you then lit up each pixel. And then it will map a object. So what they had basically was a bunch of stripped. It was just bundled up together. So try to map that to have a chase across nice and even, virtually impossible. Well, this guy had this ball of just strip light there, and it just had perfect imagery going across back and forth and things like that because it was actually mapped in by taking photographs, so it knew where every pixel was located within that. So, that's just some of the future ways that people are working on to make sequencing easier and using your things like iPads and things like that. So, we don't have to use computers and things like that. We can actually have live control of our elements and interactivity. So I just thought I'd just show that and discuss.
It does interact with audio as well?
Yes, so yep.
I had it at a party where my phone was connected to Bluetooth speaker and this was connected to the controller and just playing the songs on my phone and
Yep.
the lights were changing to the music as per the preset effects.
Yep.
You need a wireless, so you can do like a wireless router?
Yep, so the way I've used it is Mini have a wireless controller so I can connect directly to it. Or if I'm using my the network controller, I just use a wireless router, just connected through, because it's all IP based. So just connect to a wireless router, and then this connects to the wireless router, which connects to the address of your controller. I actually did a job in New Zealand at their Sky City Casino, which was a big grid of lights, and they could actually sit underneath it and just control that whole grid with an iPad live, at the time. So, it's just a lot of ways we can sort of, use this kind of tool. It's a very nice little tool to have, something different. All right.